Hey y'all, it's Skylar and I'm here with my amazing makeup artist Phoebe Dawson, who, fun fact, has been my makeup artist for how long now? 10 years?
A long time. Yeah, I feel like 8 years or something.
Yeah.
I put on her first pair of eyelashes.
Ever.
So
First makeup artist ever. And she's still here, she's my bitch.
Still here. She kept me around.
And today we're doing something we usually don't do, which is a fun, more artsy makeup look inspired by my new EP, Earth Signs, which is out now, so go and check it out. If you do want to kind of explain a little bit.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a fun look. Usually we always do a bronzy eye and very gold and glowy, so we're gonna change it up today and use some flowers and some earth elements and maybe incorporate gold, of course, because that's very Skylar. But it's gonna be fun and different, and we're gonna use Kosis, which is a really clean, vegan, cruelty-free brand. So we're gonna use that for the look.
We always do this at the beginning.
Yes. Always sanitize. Get me ready to
Always
go.
sanitize. I make sure to brush my teeth so my breath is
And skincare is really big, so I always do eye treatments on Skylar. She has a crazy schedule, and she's always up late and doing all these different things. So these really help.
This is it, guys. We're done. Thanks for watching.
So what was the inspiration behind the title?
Well, I'm an earth sign. I'm a Taurus. Working on my neck, on my necklace. So I feel like during quarantine, everyone kind of picked up new hobbies or something they got really into. And for me, one of the things was astrology. So I was reading a lot about it. So I wanted, and all the songs for the most part were all created during COVID quarantine. So I feel like that was a good representation of kind of where my overall headspace was at while I was creating the records. And also I feel like all the songs kind of relate back to earth sign qualities. A lot of the songs talk about loyalty and being invested and being all in, and I'm more sensual. Exactly, and in those, and that kind of, element. And also the person who inspired a lot of the songs too is a fellow earth sign. So I felt like it just made the most sense,
We use the Kosis brow gel to contour her brows before I stop filling them out. Skylar loves bushy good brows.
I know. Remember when I went through my phase where I refused to. Well, I had tiny eyebrows first.
Oh my god, your eyebrows look like being on a journey, but your eyebrows are being on a journey.
They have been on a journey for sure. They started off really small,
were tiny.
I almost had no brows. When I was a baby, I had no eyebrows. It was all forehead. Nothing was there. And then and I think small eyebrows look really good, but I have a big head, I feel like. So I feel like I don't look good with little eyebrows. But then I went through a period of time then where I didn't do anything with them, and I let them grow, and then they were burnt. They were big, and I thought they looked really good. That was in style though for the really thick. And my mom tried to tell me those aren't it. Yeah. And I was like, no, they look great. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna regret this. And now I look at photos and my eyebrow is bigger than my forehead. Where is my forehead? It's eyebrow. What's your favorite makeup look that we've ever done? Do you have a favorite?
Okay, I wanna ask you that too.
Okay.
I love, it was in a hotel room for that charity thing. We had the circus pants that we were doing.
Oh,
we did that gold with the yellow gold.
The one that was inspired by Gigi Hadid, right?
Yes, I really love that one. Off the top of my head.
Yeah, that was a really fun one. That's a hard one. I think the Questions music video, I really like how we did the green, the emerald green underneath the eye. That was really fun. And then it was also just such a funny day, with it being so cold in the desert.
Windy, and we
so
thought it was gonna be hot or something, and it was crazy.
It was so cold, and then we were
covers the sand.
yes, no, that was the funniest part. Literally by half the day, I was like, okay, Phoebe, touch ups, and she's like, I don't know where to start. Your whole face is covered in sand. I think you're it's a lost cause at this point.
There was an inch of sand every inch of your face, and I was I don't know what to do with this.
My face was like sandpaper.
Yeah, you got exfoliated for sure. So what was your favorite song on the project?
Ooh, that's really tough. I'm gonna have to think about that for a second. I think it changes from day to day. I think my favorite song that I enjoy listening to the most would either be Questions or Locked In. At least at the moment. Like those ones I'll turn on when I'm getting ready or just, you know, wanting to listen to music in the car or whatnot. I think melodically those have some of my favorite melodies on the EP. So I say those two, but Superman is like probably my favorite overall as a whole, just because I spent like the most time writing that one and I was very intentional with every single lyric. And like really spent my time with that one, where a lot of times my writing style, I tend to go with what feels good. You know, I'm not really focused on like the lyrics being overly creative or anything like that. I'm more of like, I spend that energy on like the melodies. Whereas with Superman, it was kind of the opposite. Like I wanted it to be an open letter, a poem kind of in a way. So I think I'm like the most proud, like artistically, of that one.
I really love that one. I love the video, how it's like so simple and like you spinning.
Yeah, and that was such a fun one too, because it was like the beginning kind of like quarantine-ish, so like we couldn't have, like people weren't doing big video shoots or anything like that. So it was me, the director, and then the cameraman guy who's like, I don't know the correct terminology for that, but
DP.
Yeah, a DP. And
we did you before, right? Like, yeah.
And then we showed up and it was in like the producer's garage. And
I love that too,
the garage.
Yeah,
and it was like a black screen and then a spinning thing. I actually have a video of that, but it was like a spinning thing, and they literally just spun me on a circle for
forever,
5 hours in front of a black screen, and then in post made it look like what it looks like. So that was a really fun one too, because I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't want it to be like too boring or anything, but I think it turned out like simplistically.
It was beautiful.
Thank you.
What is the biggest creative risk you took with earth signs and why?
I would say probably like cursing for the first time, like in my music. Like it wasn't the first time I've cursed, but in my songs. Yeah, and I'm definitely an overthinker, and even though stuff like that's not, it's not anything in the big scheme of things, you know, it's not a big deal. But for me, it was definitely a moment that was more symbolic in a way of like me fully coming into my own and becoming a woman, you know, as an adult.
Yeah. And like putting that out there in the world. Like,
and
you can't take it back.
No, you definitely can't, especially with the song "Fuck With You." Like it's literally that's the whole song. So it wasn't like just a tasteful, like it was like the whole chorus.
Yeah.
So exactly. Yeah, no. So it was like, that was interesting. You know, I definitely like, I'm an overthinker, like I said, so I definitely thought about it like so much. But and I think it also, what happened for me after that song was it allowed me to stop putting, I think, boundaries on myself, you know, and like being like, no, I can't do that, or like, no, like, you know, just like, no. And I think instead now it just allows me to have more of the mentality when I'm creating of just being a little bit more open and free, and just, if it fits, if it makes sense, it's something I want to say, like I should just say it in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think you were like scared of like how people would react to that, and then after you did it, you're like, oh, it wasn't that bad?
Yeah, it's funny because I had both. Like I was nervous. Like I'm very the kind of person that like, I don't care really what like other people think in that aspect. Like if I'm really proud of something and happy with it, like I do value that over others' opinions. But at the same time, you know, like I mean, everyone kind of second guesses that. So I was worried too, because I didn't want, I'm a very long-term thinker too with my career and everything. So I didn't want to do something that maybe I was feeling like I wanted to do in the moment, but that I would later regret, or that wasn't like worth it, you know, in the big scheme of things. So I was definitely nervous how people, especially because I started so young, that people have been on this journey with me for a long time, or, you know, view me, I think still sometimes like as that, you know, 10-year-old girl. Yeah. So, and I also, you know, I don't want to lose anyone too. You know what I mean? So I
respect the people that are being on the journey.
Exactly. And I don't like, it wasn't like a way for me to shut people out or like be like, I'm doing this now, like, but like, you know what I mean? It was just like an evolution. So I wanted people to interpret it in that way.
Like you're growing up too, like you're an adult now, and like, you're older, so you're going through different things.
Yeah, and in life too, like, I mean, that's such a small risk in the big scheme of things, but you know, at the same time too, like you can't play it safe with everything, you know? So for me, I love the song. I thought it was a great addition to the EP and just my storytelling of me, you know, this first project that I'm releasing as an adult. So that was kind of at the end of the day, I was like, why not?
One of the things that like really impressed me about you when I first started working with you is you always know exactly what you want, and you're so opinionated, and you always had planned and spoke to me even since you were like 10. And like most people don't do that. They listen to what the label wants, what their parents want, what other people want, and you always had such a vision for yourself.
Oh, thank you, Phoebe. Now I'm not always right, you know. Sometimes I'm like, I probably should have listened to Phoebe.
Okay, so now I'm using the Kosas golden bronze in medium. And I'm just doing that under her cheekbones and kind of around the edges of her face. So we always love like a glowy, bronzy look. We're gonna go in with this Kosas cream blush. I'm just gonna put it on the apples of her cheeks. So what was your process like for this?
When it comes to the production and everything, it was my first time creating a project where I actually knew how to vocal produce a little bit and incorporate, you know, recording at home from my home studio. So it was definitely a lot more organic and raw than my past projects. You know, even though I love collaborating with other people and a lot of the songs still, like I didn't produce certain songs, but I was still involved, but I love that interaction with other writers and producers. But it was really cool for the first time to be able to not have to rely on other people necessarily, you know, in order to get something done. You know, if I didn't like a certain sound or something, like I was just like, send it to me, like I'll do it, you know what I mean? And I felt like I was able to execute more precisely my vision due to the fact that I wasn't enabled, you know, like I was able to just have that direct to the music ability to convey what I was feeling, you know, and make that come through the song. And also too, like it was really fun experience making it because I felt like I was learning and growing as I was making it too. Like I was still learning, like even some of the songs, like I listen and I'm like, the mix helped, but like I'm so much better now, like at mixing and doing all those kinds of things. So it was really fun to, I think, expand my musical knowledge and just my brain in a sense, because I was constantly challenging myself to also get better at that skill. Because sometimes when you're creating an album or an EP or whatever it is, like you get into that flow. And I'm definitely also looking forward to in the future, like being able to grow more. So hopefully I can get to the point where I'm actually like producing tracks, you know, and I can do that on my own. So it's even more direct to consumer, you know what I mean? Like really from like, this is what I created completely as a whole. Exactly.
Okay, so now I'm gonna do liner. So I was talking about what is your current skincare routine?
My current skincare routine is very simple, and I also need to be better about following it. See, I have super sensitive skin. Like I know for foundation and stuff, we usually don't use like oil-based, you know, and stuff like that, because I will break out really, really easily or get like a rash. So for skincare, I think it's all good. For skincare, I usually will do a cleanser that has a benzoyl peroxide or a glycolic or, you know, some sort of acne fighting or acne prevention chemical in it to just help, but something really low percentage so it's, you know, doesn't cause irritation or dryness. And then I will use a little bit, it's benzoyl? Yeah, and then I'll use a little bit of a benzoyl cream that I'll put on my face, and then I just use an oil-free moisturizer. And that's pretty much all that I do because I've tried using oils and other things, you know, that people recommend, but every time I use it, my skin acts up, so I just kind of stick with the classics, you know, nothing too crazy. Yeah. This part I actually have to stay still, so I should poke me.
Okay, so now we're gonna do a graphic liner. So I already did like a shimmery green liner on her lid, and I'm gonna kind of bring that in and do a graphic shape. And now we're gonna go to the fun part, and we're gonna start incorporating some flowers and kind of rose petals and little things around her eye to make it a more fun, creative look.
The plant is growing out of my face.
Yes, very ready. So what is your favorite makeup product, like must-have product right now?
I mean, I like the simple things, like the basics, you know, something that I'll use forever. So I really, really love a good lip balm, like a tinted lip balm. Like I actually love Kosas's, they have a normal lip balm, but then they also have the tinted one too. And my favorite is, let's see, the color Pulse is my favorite. It's really pretty because like you said we're talking about earlier, like in the summer and stuff, you know, like when you want like a little bit of color or something, you know, it gives you a little something so you don't feel naked.
Okay, we're gonna finish off with a Kosas lip gloss. This one is called Jellyfish. Have you ever been stung by a jellyfish?
I have not been stung by a jellyfish, and I hope that never happens, so no one has to pee on me to relieve the sting.
So what is a day in the life of Skylar?
Day in the life, it changes every day. There's not a specific day in the life of Skylar, but on a working day, usually it'll be some, I mean, right now at least, I'll give you like a present day. Like right now I've been either shooting a lot of like videos or doing photo shoots, press shoots. So as you know, like those will kind of take up the full day, or I'll be in the studio and have a session, and then I'll usually do that all day, throw in a drum lesson or something if I have time, and then go home and then watch the Food Network or Netflix and then go to bed. A typical day, like if I'm not working, I'm still working, so I'll just kind of focus my energy elsewhere by like practicing my piano as well, you know, practicing my drums at home, doing any like last minute like content or like work that I know I need to do that I probably won't have time to do later in the week. Hanging out with my brother if he doesn't ignore me. Right now, you know, he thinks he's, you know, too cool for school, and everything I do is really irritating, so. And, you know, with my dogs, and, you know, go into my home studio and probably just mess around. I love just doing that when I don't have like a song in specific. Like I like just kind of listening to different beats I have, and just literally going through like 10 to 15 like little ideas, and then maybe a few that like stick. So I kind of use it as like my brainstorming day.
That's really cool. This lip gloss is so pretty. It's like so glossy. And then that's it. This is the final look.
Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure to go and check out my new EP, Earth Signs, available now. The video for Earth Sign, the single, is also out now, so go check that out. And I want to give a huge thank you to Kosas, my amazing makeup artist, Phoebe Dawson. Go and follow her everywhere. She's the best. Where can they find you?
Just Phoebe Makeup. It's super easy.
Yes, she's the best. So thank you so much for my Earth Sign.